best of the people, my heart beat true. Led by the hollow as arrows flew. Forge your heart like the iron bar, strong and renewed. And turn your back on the world that has turned it on you. And we'll walk, walk, walk for all our days. And never again shall the elven be bound as a shambling slave.
So, last time on Dawn of the Dales, leaving the Grey Warden camp behind for the sake of the young Griffin Clutch, the party began to make their way toward Lark's home, the camp of Clan Alvar. Along their journey, they came across a gruesome sight. Human and Dalish bodies were found completely drained of blood. Among the humans' things, Evan found a journal describing the young girl's nightmares before the final entry devolved into an ominous warning. He shared the contents of the journal with Lark, who filled in the other elves as the party continued on their way. So Kane got a reality check as Evan pestered him about his time in the Kirkwall Circle, insinuating that his family likely sent him away to get rid of him. So, we are going to start with our RP warm-up. In character, tell me about your favorite color. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna pick one of you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
There is a very specific color that certain leaves change that is this very rich orange that is kind of like speckled with red, especially with like maple leaves. And that color is Tam's favorite color. And that is why his Valentine is the color that it is.
Who's next? I'm gonna go across the line. Joey, you're next
Hey,
in my lineup.
Tam, describe your eye color.
That's real gay. Very dark, chocolatey brown.
That's Thavi's favorite color.
Anything else you want to share about that favorite color?
Nope.
Okay. Next is Siobhan.
It's blue.
What kind of blue?
Blue.
Just blue. Okay.
I've got more important things to do than think about colors that I like. Fortunately, the uniform is the color that I like. Not as if that would be a deal breaker, but yes, it's blue. Have a good day.
All right. Hercule is next.
Sorry, that was strange. I unmuted myself and it said I was muted, and it was very strange. I'm going to go with my instinct here. Hercule's favorite color is gold, but in small doses. He likes
Explain.
small amounts of gold, like he likes. I was looking at the art to see if it's in there, and it's not. But I've decided now that he wears like small gold earrings in both.
Like little accents.
Yeah, gold accents. That's his favorite.
So not like Orlesian gold, just like
No, he would not. He would hate a room full of gold, but he likes
Not
gold
the heinous shirt they put Josephine in.
right.
accents. Correct.
I would rather saw my arms off with a cheese grater then wear that shirt, and that's why I've never cosplayed her.
And yet you know she's the one who designed the Nutcracker outfits.
Don't even get me fucking started. Secretly, Josephine has awful taste. Awful.
Love her dearly, but
Plastic on the furniture, gold couch.
All right, next is Evan.
I mean, like, I don't really prefer a certain color, but I guess if you were have to like imagine like when the sun is setting, just starting to set, and there's kind of this warm gold orange glow. That's I like that one.
Lee, it is your turn to describe Zakane's favorite color.
I will say his favorite color is red, but a very specific shade of red. The shade of red that the sun turns right as it sets, like right when it goes below the horizon, that little burst of red. That is his favorite color.
Oh, right.
So what I'm hearing is if you put Lee, Tam, Evan in a row, we are a sunset.
Yes.
And they could all
Perfect.
kiss.
Which is perfect
That'd be
symbolism
good.
because some of these people may die.
Or all of them.
terrifying.
All right. Is there anything that y'all want to do before my plans? Nope.
We're still on the road, right? Like we're still
Yes.
on our way.
Mhm.
Cool.
We good? All right. So, y'all continue making your way through the forest, following the path. At this point, Lark is leading the way as you get closer and closer to where her camp is. And eventually you do see Aravels and banners in the distance with the Dalish insignia on it. And sorry. When you enter like the vicinity of the camp, there are scouts standing outside kind of by the banners. And Lark, you do recognize them.
I've taken off my Templar armor.
All of it?
Yeah, I've got like it's rigged up to my back.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. It's off.
Hercule is walking uncomfortably close behind Lark.
Uncomfortably for him or
I mean-
uncomfortably for her?
Yes. Hercule doesn't recognize it. How tall is Lark-ish?
She's like 5'6"-ish.
Okay, so he's a foot and a half taller than her, but it's like if he
But he
could,
still
he'd be
has that
hiding
kind of
behind her.
awkward.
She's like, I'm with, got a very trying to clearly to convey, I'm with them.
Amazing.
All right. So, as you approach and Lark, you see these two scouts. They both kind of look at each other and then look at you, and they just
She just sort of she's just like, hey.
and it's a male elf and a female elf, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. The male elf just kind of hey back at you.
Very obvious, like anyone seeing them, it's very obvious that these two are like instant buddies, and they've been buddies for a long time.
The woman kind of looks between the two of you. I'm sorry, are we just going to ignore the Shem and the whatever that thing is?
Quinati.
Friends meet friends.
Hello.
Well, acquaintances at the very least.
I was gonna say, you haven't been gone that long.
Grey Wardens, Orlesian army almost got hung, headbutted a guy, killed a guy.
It's the usual for you.
Yeah, it's been the usual couple of days, but brought some Grey Wardens with me. They also kind of got hung up in events and some fellow Dalish, and it's been a time.
I'm guessing so. Yes. You know the keeper's not going to be very happy
The
about
keeper's gonna
this.
be absolutely pissed. I know.
Oh, yes, they're
I
gonna be
am
very
in
pissed.
so much trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. And she sort of looks back at the friends. She's just like, friends, this is Isera and Solvin. Friends, this is and she's gonna point to the Canarsion, like, this is Hercule.
Hello.
This is Siobhan. We have, and then she's gonna look at the elves. This is Tam and Davi and Evan. You can
Nice.
tell it's like trying real hard to remember the names. Zakane is in the back there. And then fellow associate. And she just sort of points it to Vinter like, I lost it at this one.
Six.
And he speaks up and he says, Atrius Thalracian at your service. And like bows with a flourish. And Sarah just kind of like rolls her eyes. Vince.
The wardens take everyone.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take you to see the keeper.
I know. I really rolled in it this time, but
Yeah. She's not gonna like this many Shem in the camp.
I know. Hopefully we're not here that long. It's just more of like a passing through while we get our bearings and figure out what we're doing next.
Right. Well, Sylvan, why don't you and he's just like, got it.
Well, I'm just looking at Sullivan like, don't leave me.
And he kind of leads you all into the camp.
Ellie, you
And-
never answered whether or not they were hot.
Oh, they are hot.
I thought they always assume the characters are hot unless
They
unless
are hot.
otherwise.
So like Sullivan is like they're both dark skinned, like, but Sullivan's got more red to his hair, like it's like a dark red. Isera has curly long brown hair. Both of them have green eyes. Just very, very hot, well built, both in like scout leathers and stuff like that. Yeah, they're hot. They're also married.
All right. I'm glad you know what they look like because I did. So yeah, he kind of leads you all further into the camp, just kind of like nudging Lark as they move along. And walking by, you do meet eyes with exactly who you would expect. And he's just kind of glaring and ignores you and turns away.
Just like she's just stone faced, like not even looking at him, like, but her hands sort of twitch like she like into a fist, like she just wants to like flip him off, but she's resisting.
Nice.
As we're walking through, at some point you would hear a like kind of a shriek that you guys would probably all recognize at this point. Of it that it's a limon noise, and Hercule is still probably a little too close to Lark for Lark's comfort and for Hercule's comfort too, but he's nervous. And he's like, Lark, I hate to be a bother so soon into this endeavor, but are there any animals in the camp that would be disturbed by a limon joining?
Valhalla, yeah. Hold up, Sylvan. We have a griffin.
She's
that's-
circling above at the moment. I wanted to be polite and not.
Hercule, can you like go back to the entry? Like, Sullivan, I know where the keeper is. You want to go with Hercule just to the edge of the camp? I don't want to bring the griffin down into the camp and scatter the holla.
She is only medium sized, but she is still medium sized.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's my fault. I'm a little and she sort of like glances back at him, like not quite prepared.
He just kind of glances between you and Hercule and then kind of looks up and looks back between you two. I like this. This is exciting. I've never seen a griffin before, so yes, absolutely. I will
I'm happy
accompany
to
you.
introduce you to Limo. She
Love
is
her.
very
She's
nice.
adorable.
Oh, thank you. She is quite adorable.
Yes, lead the way, very tall Orlesian man.
Kunari, not that man, but yes, all right. So we're splitting off now.
Just for the moment,
Already
because
10
Okay.
minutes in.
I'm already breaking the party.
right. As I realized that we're gonna bring a griffin down into it where all the holla are, you know.
That's fair. So let's start with Hercule. So Sullivan leads you kind of back towards Isera in the entrance of the camp. And he just kind of like looks over at her and says, "There's a griffin." And she just rolls her eyes, very annoyed. And he leads you a little further away just to make sure that there is a good amount of distance between Limon and the Hala. And then he just kind of like nudges you with his elbow. It's like, all right, I'm ready.
So, I would say that they would have different whistles for different things. So he does his set of whistles that calls for her, and she does a little swoop, 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 swoop before landing in front of them. And he gives like customary little pat that he does when she arrives in front of him. Limo, this is a new friend. And Limo, please be careful. And like you can see Limo start to look and then look back, and they give an eye contact. Limo, please be careful. There are animals here that are called Hala. They might be a little scared of you. They are not prey. Yes. Okay. All right. Would you like to pet Limo?
Yes.
I would just obviously stay away from her eyes or her beak.
Okay. And he just kind of like very slowly like reaches out and then just kind of lets her come to him. Like he's been around Hala, he kind of has an idea of how to deal with a new animal. Just kind of lets
Limo
her
would
come
not
to
be afraid at all because I'm assuming this is a typical elf unless he's like actually secretly a bodybuilder warrior type elf. Like Limo is very aware that she could take them. So she's not really afraid. So she'll just come up and be like, "Yeah, hi." She's got a little golden retriever. Got a little golden retriever in her.
He pets her head. It's like, wow, they're a lot bigger than you'd think, aren't they?
Oh, and Limo is not full size. Limo is not full grown yet. She is almost, I would say, a young adult, but not quite. So she has some more growing to do still.
So I heard this thing. Is it true that you wardens ride the griffins? Like into battle?
Yes, it's not a primary mode of transportation. But if griffins are bonded, as Limon and I are when they are full grown, that is something that happens sometimes. And in certain circumstances, there may be griffins who are not bonded to anyone specific who also are ridden into battle. But it is not as if we spend our time scouting from the sky.
That sounds amazing. I wish I could have a griffin. Are there more griffins?
Yes, yes. this is my job. I am the one who takes care of the griffins at our camp.
Griffin Whisperer.
They're all lemon size or smaller. I do not take care of any of the full grown ones. Once they are full grown, they are with someone else. Lemon may be the first one that I work with who I see as full grown, which is exciting, isn't it, Lemon? She's like jumping around a little bit.
So he he's just very excited that you're here. He's never seen a canary before. He's never seen a griffin before. He's just like geeking out. He does lead you like kind of around the side of camp and to like a secluded area where she'll be safe. But also like away from the holla. It's like pretty close to where the elves would set up their personal tents. On the opposite side where the hollow would be. So she will be safe and not a problem in that area, basically. And he leads you back into camp.
Oh, so I'm leaving Lemon.
If you want.
Are there any elves like right around where we're leaving Lemon?
There would be a few, but they're probably like children or the elderly.
How are they reacting to seeing a griffin?
The kids are ecstatic. They're so excited to see her.
Great. So then I feel like what would end up happening is Lemon would end up playing with them.
Okay.
And like playing a little bit of tag with the small children. And once Hercule sees that she's having fun, he would, make sure that she sees, but then yeah, he'd feel comfortable leaving her. If everyone seems happy to see her and not like freaked out or doesn't seem any threat of attack. And he also knows, I'm assuming they're just moving to a different part of this small little area. It's not like they're going far. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
yeah. Then he'll come back and join the group then. That's fine.
all right. So he kind of leads you back to where everyone is, and goes up to Lark, nudges you. He's like, I like your friend. That griffin is cool.
Told you. Like the Grey Wardens aren't so bad.
I mean, there's not a
they're
lot of
not-
sham among them, but this guy's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he is, but I like him. And he gives you one more nudge and says, "Good luck with the keeper," and winks. And as he walks away, he does clap Hercule on the shoulder, and he's like, "Good to meet you." Ignores everyone else and heads back to his wife. So, as you head further into the camp, you hear some raised voices. And as you get closer to the keeper's tent, you see that she is speaking with another elf, one that Lark doesn't recognize from the clan.
Okay.
He's a little tall for an elf, blonde hair, Elgernon Valislian. And he's got a green cloak with Joey knows what I'm putting down. With like elven warrior armor, essentially. And they're arguing. They don't see you guys approaching, but they are they're upset with each other, yelling at each other in the Dalish language. So humans and Hercule, you have no idea what they're yelling at each other about. But the rest of you can kind of get the idea that they're arguing about the war.
What they
And
saying, though? I'm listening. What they saying?
it's along the lines of he's saying, I need soldiers, basically. And she's refusing.
Can we see? Can Tam and Davi see him?
Yes.
Tam immediately like straightens up and nudges Davi with his elbow and like is like, look.
She like kind of elbows him in the stomach, like, knock it off, and is like standing suddenly very, very tall. And I mean, she's never really super relaxed, even when they're kind of at rest, but she's suddenly like she has a soldier's posture now. Just watching this person with her absolute attention, like hanging on every word.
He leans over and he's like, do you want me to wolf out? I can. He almost slumps with disappointment. And then kind of falls into line next to her.
At one point, the man kind of catches a glimpse at the people watching them argue, places his hand on the keeper's shoulder, and turns to all of you. Looking at the elves in the group in particular. What is the meaning of this? Gesturing towards the Grey Wardens.
I brought them along. They helped me out of some trouble. I'm helping them out of some trouble.
You do realize we're at war.
The Grey Wardens fight the Blight, not the elves.
And when have they ever helped the elves?
By stopping the Blight. The Blight affects us just as badly as it does the Shems.
It doesn't seem that way half the time. He turns back to the keeper and says, I will be taking my leave. If you change your mind, you know how to reach me. And he just kind of like stalks out of the camp. Not out of the camp, but away from the group of you.
Lark sort of just looks at him like...
The keeper turns to you all. I'm sorry, Nomaris is... Well, Nomaris. Although I do have to say I share his sentiments, Lark.
I know. I wouldn't have brought them if it wasn't a last resort. But I do owe them helping save my life.
We'll have to catch up later. For now, what exactly were you planning once you got here?
Above the table, just because it's been a while. And Ellie has forgotten.
That's fair.
It's been a while. Were we planning on just staying here a couple of days before moving on, I thought? I don't remember. I think it was just to sort of rest and plan our next move before leaving.
And the Vint wanted to meet Dalish.
Yeah. And we were very hesitant about that, but it's sort of, he has the few days that we're here to make his case without getting killed. I know that we had thought about playing a ransom as a possibility, but I don't know if that's was something that we were actually going to go for, if we're just hiding out for a few days. It's been a while since we planned.
I don't think we really had a plan other than don't accidentally bring the army down upon the Grey Wardens, honestly.
Okay. Okay, yeah, here it is. It's just we're basically yeah, it was just to decide where we're gonna go next.
Um,
Yeah, so she'll look at the keeper. We're just trying to hide out for a few days while we figure out our next move. Um, the the Shems are convinced that all of us killed some general. Killed a couple of Shems, but I don't recall killing a general. Um,
so the entire Orlesian army is after you?
To be entirely fair, they're not.
I'm sorry, I was not speaking to you.
they're after anyone and everyone that they think they can blame to continue their fight.
And you got yourself wrapped up in it. Well, make sure you keep your stay to a few days. There's no sense in putting the entire clan at risk any more than you already have.
I'm sorry. I really didn't know where else to go. And
Well,
at the very, I figured at the very least I could warn you before they came.
I do appreciate that much.
If it
I would
helps,
ask that you set up camp outside of your usual place.
Of course, I wouldn't keep them inside.
Thank you. She just kind of eyes up everyone dressed up as a warden. Well, supper will be ready within a few hours. So I suppose set up your camp and go see your mother. She's been very anxious to see you.
I will.
And do any of them wield magic?
Lark looks back. I know at least one of them does, and she kind of looks at Zakane. I don't do above table. I don't think any outside of the Vint. Well, she's talking about the Shems. Like, I'm not worried about the Dalish. At least one of the Shems does. Maybe two. I say maybe because I haven't seen everything that they can do. But I've been watching them, and I will continue to watch for them, and I will take responsibility for them.
In that case, I have nothing more to say on the matter. Well, I'm sure Sylvan and Sarah were glad to see you. Yes, they'll show you a good place to set up. They know the woods better than most, as you know.
Thank you, and I am sorry.
I know. Just one more thing that this clan doesn't need. Don't ever become a keeper, Lark.
I do have more to discuss with you, but I'll get them settled first.
Very well. I will wait for you. You know where to find me.
All right. And I look back at them like, all right, come on, guys.
Tam's gonna hesitate when everyone walks away. And turn back to the keeper and in Dalish ask, is there anything that we can do to help around camp?
No. She's very off put by the entire party because of those dressed as Grey Wardens, and is hesitant to let in the rest of you at the moment.
He'll just kind of like nod and kind of give like a little kind of slight bow and turn to scurry after the others.
As Tam is coming back, Davi sort of puts her hand on his shoulder and gives it a squeeze. You know, if that were Roshan, it would have been completely different.
Not everybody is Roshan.
I know you would have done things differently.
He just kind of like winces and gives this like little laugh that is not at all humorous. And then like scoops her hand into his and tugs her back after the group. He does not want to talk about this right now.
So, Lark, I'm assuming you lead everyone back kind of towards.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead them to back towards the camp entrance, and once we're out of earshot of the keeper, like and out of eyesight of the keeper, Lark just sort of like sags a little bit, and she's just like, I'm sorry about that.
We have no reason to be sorry.
I'm
Never.
sure that tall golden asshole wasn't helping make things better.
No.
She's already short with us, but
Some people's idea of leading is exclusion. Yours isn't.
well,
kind
at
of
least
the whole war, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a war, and at least she didn't fill you with arrows, so you know we're one step ahead.
Sorry that we have caused you more trouble, Luck.
I get into trouble a lot. It's sort of a thing. Home's been tense for me lately anyways, so it is what it is. Might as well set up camp and at least get as comfortable as possible while we figure out what to do next. At least Solvin likes you. Well, she looks at Hercule, she'll be like, at least he likes you. That's a start. Silver linings and all that. And she'll lead them back to the camp entrance, and she'll just clap Solvin on the shoulder and just be like, so show us where to camp.
She's that kind of pissed.
Yeah, I really stepped in it this time.
I
But you
mean,
know,
fair.
we're all still alive, so I'm gonna take it.
That's what matters, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Good day to be alive.
it's probably gonna be even worse talking to my mother, but you know,
Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
yeah, maybe we don't tell her that I had a noose around my neck.
My lips are sealed.
But I did headbutt the guy that did it. He's not alive,
Nice.
so you know.
You'll have to tell me about this later.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So Do you want to be by the ship pile or by where we tan the hides?
Delicious. Um, you know what? As far away from my ex as possible.
I mean, I'll fill you in later. Let's go this way. And he leads you all kind of back towards where Lemon is, but just further from the camp than she is. Um, this is a good spot for a camp, don't you think? Nice clearing, trees to shelter you, far, far, far away from the keeper.
What'll do?
All right. Um,
I take it there's
anything
some
you need?
camp gossip. Uh, I mean, once we get settled, I will venture in for food for everyone and water and all that. But
Yeah, I'll help you. It's better that they probably stay here.
uh, um, anything that I should know about pitfalls before I go back in and get my ass chewed out again?
Well, Farron is still pissed.
And the
This is-
sky is still blue. Like,
I mean, yeah. Um, the other things I think I'll let your mom tell you.
boy. Okay. Well, I might as well rip that bandage off. And she's gonna turn around and look at the group and be like, are you guys gonna be okay to set up camp? I have some business. She looks thrilled.
Do you need help kicking somebody's ass?
Um,
Do you need a buddy while someone else kicks your ass?
well, just maybe be ready to heal some burns or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm walking into other than I'm sure the world's greatest tongue lashing. I don't know. It's my mother. So,
What about loyal animal companion?
if you're willing, I will not say no to an emotional support wolf.
He will drop his pack next to Davi and transform into his wild shape and just kind of lean his full weight against Lark's legs.
She will kind of like ruffle her hand through his fur on his head like a pat and be like, all right, I can do this. I'm an adult. It's just my mother. She walks back towards the camp, leaving Solvin with the rest of the party.
All right. So before we do Lark and Tam, does anyone else want to do anything in your camp?
Want to talk to Sylvan.
Okay, he's still there.
I'm just gonna go over and like smile. Just look
Hi.
at it.
Can I help you? I must say, I am a married man.
Oh, no, it wasn't trying to
You just have that look about you.
I've
In the eyes.
yeah. So are you one of the traveling clans or are you pretty stationary?
We used to be pretty stationary. And then, war.
How involved are you in you know?
Less so at the moment than we were.
Just, my clan was pretty close to the front line, so curious.
Oh. How is your clan?
Well, they're traveling now.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be a new trend among the elves.
Yeah.
But
So
what
what
can you
did
do?
Locke do?
Uh,
Why's everyone pissed at her?
I you like your mic went weird, so I only caught half of what you said.
What did Locke do? Why is everyone pissed at her?
I don't think that's for me to say.
Oh, what
Let's
what's it
just
gonna do?
let's just
Just give me
say
a little.
there was a thing. There was a thing. People died. People are pissed.
Oh, that's not that bad.
I think it was justified. But
I
there
mean,
are others who don't
people
agree.
die. People die all the
People die
time.
all the time. Yeah. It's
Oh,
war. What do you expect?
all right. Well, and I'll pull out, a pipe and kind of offer it over to him.
You got the good shit.
Do I have the good shit? And I'll light it.
You have the good shit, don't you? He does take the offered pipe.
That's it.
Anyone else?
I would like Davi would like to talk to Evan, but I want other people to do their role play first if anybody else has something to say.
Okay. Lee.
Okay, two questions. First
Yes.
question. So, Evan did give Zakane alcohol before this. So, how drunk do we think this little poor boy is?
Um, you want to make a constitution check?
Sure thing, bestie. Haha. That would be a 8.
He's pretty drunk, yeah.
Okay, 2. Well, now that he's drunk, I don't think he would do the thing I was gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna ask anyway.
Okay.
Are there any kids around?
No, because you are not very far from camp, but far enough
Dang,
away that you can't really see them.
dang. Are there any other elves around?
Just Sullivan.
Dang, he's talking.
I mean, he could be done with that conversation. He's just sitting there smoking a pipe now.
That's so fair. Is Evan still there?
I would assume so.
Yeah, he's got my pipe.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna drunkenly go over there and just in Elven, he's gonna be like, "Hi, hello. How are you? I'm okay. Oh, you didn't answer the question, but I'm okay. I hope you're okay. You're a little, it's just beautiful here."
Sullivan looks at Evan. Is he speaking Dalish right now?
Second, where did you get that? And I'll say this in common. Where do you figure that dialect? They teach you that in the circle.
No,
Circle?
no. Not in the circle. No, no, no. I learned it when I was a kid. When my great grandpa was alive, he would teach us Elven and Dalish culture and all this stuff because he wanted us to have a good, healthy relationship with the Dalish whenever we got old enough to rule the country.
All right, you know what I think would be really nice? Maybe if we got you some lunch.
Lunch?
I've got some things in my bag that, yeah, it might do you some good to fill your stomach.
Oh, what kind of food? Do you have anything? I don't know why, but I'm craving something greasy.
I don't have that.
Ah, what do you have? What do you have in your pouch? And he just kind of leans on him now and he's just like, "What do you got in there?"
And I'll just kind of gesture to Sylvan and kind of usher Zacian away, and maybe don't talk about your full history. That was my bad for bringing the circle up, but they don't need to know.
Oh, okay. I thought that's how people bonded.
It is, but we're trying to not die.
Well, ain't that just the way?
It, unfortunately.
All right, he'll take whatever snack he has and he'll go and sit somewhere.
Yeah, I've got basically dried fruits and nuts and trail mix era type things.
All right, he'll go sit and munch.
Are Shem just teaching people our language, or
It may be
how are they learning? I'm
special
very confused.
circumstance.
Huh. Interesting group of people you guys are. Anyone else got anything they want to do before we go to Joey? Nope.
I do think Akil would, while setting things up, just lean over to Siobhan and go, I'm sorry that she spoke to you like that.
No. It's how some people are. I'm actually more upset about how she talked to Lark. In fact, I'm really, really upset about how she talked to Lark.
I hope we have not caused too much trouble for her.
I just don't want Kiva to happen again.
I know. We'll do everything we can to make sure that she doesn't get in trouble any more than Jordy is.
It does seem like she can do it all by herself, but no. I want her to have somewhere to come back to when all this is over.
It sounded like they are used to maybe not this kind of trouble, but they are used to unexpected things from Lark. So I think I hope we can make sure it is okay. Hopefully we can find some way to help, and then things will be fine.
Only thing you can do is hope, huh?
We are used to this, yes. It is you never know, the Grey Warden, whether you will be greeted by cheers or boos, yes, and whether they will be very happy to see you to get rid of what is bothering them, or whether they would like you to leave as soon as possible. And well, you know that I see that even more than you do.
I don't
think
like that either.
well,
Delightful folksy racism, still racism.
yeah, I understand. There are many of my kind that would be quite a threat to a small elf. So I understand the concern, especially given the nature of some of my. Well, I hesitate to call them brethren. It's not as if I know them, but I cannot fault them for finding my stature concerning.
But I can. Because they know what it's like. I can't get on board with anyone who faces any form of prejudice harboring their own. It's, I guess, uncomfortable is the nicest way to put it, but just tastes like metal in the back of my mouth.
Yes, I know. But yeah, like I said, given especially the circumstances, and this uh blasted accent, I can certainly understand the caution. If I could make myself smaller for them, I would.
Ah, ooh la la. No. Wouldn't want you any other way. You shouldn't want to
Well,
make yourself small for anybody. You
I
are who
don't
you
know.
are because it's who you're supposed to be.
Wait, I don't know about that. I was not supposed to be this.
I think we all end up where we're supposed to be in the end. And I think I don't know, might believe in that more, little better than I believe in the Maker. There's just something, you know? Everyone ends up where they're supposed to be.
Well, I may have trouble always believing it like you do, but you certainly know more about life than I do. So
Well, I've had quite a deal more of it than you have.
I know. As you always remind me.
I'm going to go climb a tree and I'm going to sit up there because if Lark comes back and someone was rotten to them, it's going to take me a long time to get down from the tree safely, and it will help me process my anger fast enough. Um, because I'd like to be able to stay in these woods for everyone's safety, but I might go off if
Well,
someone talks to them out the side of their mouth again.
I hope it helps, and you know very well that whenever you climb a tree, you will likely have Limon joining you in a moment. Hopefully her
She's good
presence is
weight.
comforting.
She's good weight.
Yes, yes.
And then she's gonna go climb a tree.
Is she good at climbing trees? Is she wearing her full warden armor while climbing trees?
No, like she's probably taking shit off to get up there because this is someone who would then like,
Devices aren't available.
girl,
You
calm
might
down.
try setting them up again. One or more devices aren't available.
She'll do this 5
Try
times.
setting them up again.
Oh no.
Devices aren't available. You might want to try.
And then she'll claim that she's not a speaker and there's no speakers that can broadcast the forecast.
Oh my god. She just wants to be included.
On the 19th and Bickford, it'll be cloudy with a high of 71 and a low of 51.
Anyway, this is someone who like will climb into a tree and then use their belt to like strap their thighs to a good thick branch.
Yes.
So this is something that she did frequently when she was younger and now has the luxury of doing it frequently again. So she is stripping off armor just down to her tunic and leggings, and she's gonna climb up the tree.
All right. Joey, what do you want to do?
Excuse me, that was poorly timed cough. Once Evan has Zakane settled with his little snicky snacks, she's gonna like kind of get his attention and try to like talk to him by themselves because she doesn't want to deal with the Shems.
I'll come over.
She's just kind of on like going through her pack, just making sure that everything is settled if you know they have to leave in a hurry in the morning. And she's speaking in Dalish. He is going to get himself killed someday if he doesn't learn what is appropriate to say to strangers.
That's why I told him that. But at the same time, it's not our job to babysit him. Hopefully he'll learn before something drastic happens.
It's not your job to babysit him, and yet you gave him food.
Well, if he exposed who he was, then all of us would be in trouble. So really, I was just looking out for myself there.
Well, not if we ran and left him here.
Like the way you think.
Well, I don't know if that was an honest thought or if it was just me channeling the way you think. Why is it you never offer me your pipe?
You never expressed interest.
Well, maybe I am interested.
All
In
right.
it, elf fruit.
He will take it out and light it and hand it to her.
She takes it. This is somebody who is very inexperienced
Yeah, you
with,
can tell.
and you can tell. She does that thing that, like, when people who smoke weed pretend they have totally smoked weed a lot before, like, hold the coffin, and then she hands it back to him and she's like, completely understand the enjoyment you get out of that.
Do you?
Just floored by it.
Yeah. And he will turn it back and put it up to her lips. Inhale.
She, like, freezes, turns really red, and then inhales like a normal amount this time.
And he'll pull it back and just like put one finger on her lips. Now wait. Go ahead.
And then she lets it out.
It gets smoother the more you practice.
I will take your word for it. She sits down next to her pack and doesn't pat the spot next to her, like, overtly gesture to it. She just kind of, like, gestures with her eyes.
And he'll sit down, kind of a little bit of a raised eyebrow at her.
Your family, your clan, they're traveling.
Yeah. We were pretty stationary for a while there, but the war got closer.
Did you leave them, or
I wanted to see more of the world.
Can I roll insight, please?
Go for it.
Oh my God. That was a nat 20, baby.
Well, let me just roll deception really quick. I rolled a 2. He's lying.
She's going to kind of watch his face and do that creepy thing that people who don't smoke a lot do, where they just kind of stare at you and their eyes go really fast, like looking back and forth between your eyes. I don't know if other people know what I'm talking about, but like just a really specific gesture of like trying to figure something out about him and tilt her head.
You're making eyes at me.
I understand if you don't trust me because you don't know me, but I think we're more alike than you think.
Why's that?
Well, I my I suppose I'm traveling to see the world too.
Yeah. That's why the two of you left your clan.
Right.
Right.
She reaches out and brushes her thumb across his cheek and then like looks at it and is like, "You had an eyelash."
I have a few if you want to get the others.
"You had an eyelash on your cheek. You should make a wish." I've heard that's something that the Shems do.
A wish.
It's silly. My father spent a lot of time around Shems and he passed silly things
Okay.
on to me.
Make a wish and then what?
Tell me, don't tell me, take it to your grave.
What does the eyelash have to do with it?
I don't know. I think your silly elf fruit has started to do things.
All right, all right. I'll make a wish. Make a wish. And he'll make a very bleh, dramatized thinking face.
No, well, don't hurt yourself.
All right, I made my wish.
She puts her hand out and then like dramatically blows on it, and then when the eyelash doesn't go away, she like flicks it and then brushes her hands off. And I have decided that being around you is dangerous.
What's the fun in being safe all the time?
I'm not a very fun person.
We can change that.
If you say so.
and scene.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna take a break because I have to pee. And then we'll come back with Lark and Tam. All right. That was a long break, but we're back. All right. So, we are gonna go to Lark and Tam. So you're going back into the camp, looking for, oh, we are muted. There we go, we're unmuted. Okay. So you're going back into the camp, Lark and Tam. Looking for Lark's mother.
Hmm.
You find her at her tent where she stays. She's stirring a pot over the fire. When she looks up and sees you, she just hands on her hips. Where have you been?
Lark is instantly just like kind of like child caught sneaking in, like, oh, suddenly, for despite being like, full grown adult, she is suddenly like awkward teenager again. I was away on a mission, and
Well, that's funny because the keeper didn't say anything about a mission.
it was more of a spur of the moment opportunity type mission.
Oh, really? And you thought you would just disappear and then waltz back into camp like nothing happened?
I mean,
Do you have any idea how much has happened since you left?
no. I'm sure I will find out.
You sure will.
Like as the words leave her mouth, she's just like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that one." She's got like one hand on like Tam's head, like just sort of running her hand through the fur, like nervously, like, I fucked up.
And who's this?
Oh, I mean, this is Tam. He's a good friend.
Mhm.
He's just wagging his tail, like.
Mhm. I'm not going to make you roll insight for this, but you can tell she sees right through your wild shape.
Damn it.
She's got that mom insight. Lark, sweetheart, don't do that again.
I will do my best to let you know next time that I decide to get myself nearly killed.
Which I assume will be fairly soon, considering the friends I hear you brought to camp.
Yeah, not my finest moment. But I do owe them. They did help save my life.
Fair enough. Would have been great if you had been here, but
What
that
happened?
couldn't happen.
What's been going on that
I assume you saw Nomaris, the Emerald Knight.
yeah,
He's not just here looking for recruits. He's here because we were attacked.
by what?
Who do you think?
The like the whole army or just a couple of interlopers?
A squadron, whatever the military term is. There was a good group of Shep.
When?
Enough that they, used explosives to destroy the temple, but
Hunting the clan or just hunting for things?
hunting for elves. Because elves are evil and shun the maker.
When did that happen?
Week ago? We've thought about moving, but Keeper said there were too many people unaccounted for, including you.
I don't think it was the same group that we dealt with, but I wouldn't go down the mountain for sure. Um, our clan members or Numeris's?
Both.
We came across some bodies on the way up. Not ours. I didn't recognize the Dalish as ours. But
Well,
they
somewhat
weren't
of a relief.
they weren't killed by Shems, though.
What do you mean?
There were Shems also who were killed, and whatever did it wasn't I don't know, maybe a demon, maybe a monster, not not done by Shem armies.
Well, that's just what we need in this political climate.
I have to let the keeper know. I haven't brought it up yet. Had to get the others settled. I had to get the others settled before things broke out into camp. I don't need fighting from everyone else too.
Right.
The demon wasn't anything that we brought. And we don't know where it is, but it's something that people should be aware of. But it could be that
Be moving soon then. Better start packing.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on right now. Your grandmother's been at the temple ever since the attack, trying to fix things, but there's only so much one person can do.
No one's helping her?
A few of the mages are, but again, we only have a few, and the keeper has to stay here.
The keeper's not going to send warriors off with him, is she? I don't think we have them to spare.
No, she's planning on keeping as many here as she can, but she can't stop those who want to go.
No, but you would hope that they would have the common sense to stick with the clan to help it move.
Well, you know some of our warriors and how they can be.
Well, if he goes, I'm not going to complain, but
Neither will I. He's quite the character these days.
was raising hell again? Still?
Did he ever stop?
I don't know why he doesn't just leave. Hated being here so much. He loves the Shems so much.
Right. Keeper threatened to throw him out one time, and he decided to play nice for the time being.
He's good at that.
Isn't he, though? How long are you staying?
The keeper's giving us a few days. We have to figure out where we're going. The Shems are after us, specifically.
Why?
So, I decided to go in and, maybe see what I could find out information-wise. I don't know so much what the others were doing other than, along similar lines in varying degrees, but some Shem general got killed, and they've decided that,
That you did it.
yeah, at least one of us did it, and might as well just hang the lot of us, right? Grey
Right.
Wardens and all.
You with
Um,
wardens.
the Shems that I've brought in, they're wardens.
I see.
I figure at the very least, if we're gonna deal with, demons, darkspawn, and anything else, might as well have the wardens. They did help save me, so
Well, I suppose we'll have to be thankful for that much at least.
they're not so bad. Well, some of them are so bad. The
Mhm.
Kunari is decent. His friend is decent too.
Well, um, honestly, I can't say I am looking forward to meeting any of them.
You don't have to meet them, Mom.
That's a relief.
There's a
Just
couple of Baelish among us too, though. It'd be nice if someone
oh,
was kind to them.
well, if they are of the people, then of course they're family.
The keeper didn't seem quite keen on them because of the Shems, but she's also been dealing with a lot,
There's a
so
lot on her plate.
but they're good. At least they're decent from what I've gathered thus far.
Does
course,
Tam do
He
anything?
full leans his full body weight onto her and wags his tail.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
She leans down and like starts to like ruffle his ears and like pets him.
Has when dogs get like that dopey grin and like their eyes are barely open because someone's petting them. That's what he does. He's just like grinning up at her. He's not gonna change back because it feels like a private moment between the two of them. But
Hmm. Well, if you're staying for a few days, you should go see your grandmother. She hasn't left the temple in, well, since the attack, but I know seeing you would probably brighten her mood a bit.
I will. I should probably let the keeper know about the possible demon, though.
Yes. Yes, definitely you should do that.
Um, is there anything else I should know before I start wandering through camp? I'm not going to get like a dagger in the back or,
Not. I think people are more, I couldn't decide what I wanted to say, comfortable now that your companions are outside of the camp. You know you're welcome here,
sure.
despite how the keeper may be. And Farron, for that matter.
Look, if he falls into a pit, I'm not going to cry about it.
Neither will I. You know the things I would do to that man if I had the chance.
I'm glad you have my back at least.
Always. You're my child.
Wow. I am going to face the keeper one more time, and then I'll come back for supper.
I'll have a plate made for you.
And she's gonna give her mom a hug.
And she hugs her back a little too tightly.
Like, I'm sorry I made you worry. I'll probably make you worry again.
I know you will. Just don't get yourself killed.
I will do my best.
Good. And then she lets go, goes back to stirring her pot. Yeah,
Uh,
go tell her about that demon.
yeah, yeah, all right. She's gonna pat like Tam on the side and start to like walk away. She's just like,
Do we walk past the hollow when on the way over there, or do they have a
Can.
separate?
You
yeah.
can.
I think Lark would lead that kind of way around, like a little bit of a reprieve before dropping one more bombshell onto the keeper.
As soon as he like hears them, his ears perk straight up, and he starts like almost high stepping a little bit, like he's getting antsy, like he really wants to go see them. But he won't leave Lark's side unless she stops.
Seeing Tam's energy pick up, like the closer they get, she's just gonna kind of like grin and walk over to like where the Hala are, like in their like little paddock or like like fenced in area, and just be like,
I think that he will probably drop Wild Shape before he approaches, just um for their own comfort. So he will, once he's like 5 or 10 feet back, drop Wild Shape, completely ignore the fact that they're in camp and there are probably people there who can see this happening. And straighten up and pad over um to look at them with this like very soft expression.
Lark's just gonna walk up and like kind of just like lean on like a fence post because they've got them like fenced off, roped off, whatever. She's just gonna sort of lean in and like just watch them.
That didn't go as bad as it could have, it feels like.
No, that actually went a lot better than I thought it would. Probably because you were there. I didn't think that she'd see right through you, but I appreciate
This,
you coming along.
yeah, and anytime. And while we're here, if your grandmother needs help with the temple,
That
I've studied and can help.
that'll be appreciated. I don't think it was the same group that was tracking us. I don't think they could have gotten ahead of us.
There are lots of groups.
I feel like if I brought more down on the clan,
They weren't near us. They didn't see us leave. I'm sure it's fine. And he's gonna also kind of lean his head on one of the posts and just kind of watch the hollow for a second, and then he goes, um, my mother used to tend them.
used to.
Used to. I haven't seen them in a while. Hala, I mean.
I'm sorry.
There are worse things. Still alive.
Yeah, I'm still sorry. And she'll like kind of just lean over and bump him with her shoulder.
He returns the gesture and then uh clears his throat and looks around and just kind of gestures and says, So, do you want me to uh go back to being a wolf? She didn't seem too pleased with my uh company earlier.
You can stay with the Hala if you want to while I talk to her.
It's up to you. I'm here to support you.
And it is much appreciated. Um, don't worry about wasting your wild shape. I feel like she's gonna see through it just like my mother did. So, she's gonna be pissed off no matter what. So, but you saw the signs at least and can back me up. I'm not a mage, so I might be mistaken. I'm just a dumb scout. What do I know?
And I'll come with you. And assuming she doesn't immediately throw me out, I will again offer help.
Thanks. At the very least, all we're letting her know is one more problem. How bad can that be?
I get the sense that you're used to uh delivering problems.
Um, I guess as of late, I am the problem, maybe, depending on your point of view and
Me too.
whose side you're on.
I I know the feeling well. Ready?
Yeah, let's go. And she will pet one of the Hala that like walked over, and she'll just sort of like pet it on the nose and then turn to leave, head back towards the keeper's tent.
Is there anything that anyone else wants to do in between here quick? No? Okay. So leaving the Hala, you go back to the keeper's tent. She is talking with one of the other younger mages, kind of giving direction for restoring the temple that had been not quite destroyed, but very much broken. And when she sees the two of you approach, she kind of dismisses the other one and turns to you. Didn't expect to see you so soon.
Yeah, well, when it rains, it pours.
Certainly right. It's a
Um,
lot that's been happening lately.
yeah, my mom filled me in about the attack on the temple.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm afraid we'll have to move away, but we will return and return the temple to its former glory. It'll just take some time.
On the subject of moving down the mountain a little ways, we crossed signs of a possible demon. We came across bodies, both elven and Shem. None of the elves that from our clan, I didn't recognize anyone,
Hmm.
but not killed by Shem hands and not by elves either.
Interesting. I'll have to send someone to look into that. Did you tend to the bodies?
We didn't bury them, but we did move them to under tree, like we placed them under trees. We didn't have much time. We weren't sure what was behind us, what was around.
Um, I'll send some people out to take
We,
care of them.
we tended them the best we could at the time.
Thank you. But a demon?
She'll sort of look at Tam. Uh,
A demon. Definitely a demon.
Wonderful. I'll inform Namaris and see if there's anything he can do to look into it. I can't afford to send too many people out right now.
Whatever it is dangerous.
Yes.
If we can help,
I don't know what you can do.
I mean, at the very least, we could maybe look into hunting it.
You think you have enough to go on to find it again?
Above board, we still have the diary, right? Or
Yeah.
Um,
and I think above table, I think Tam also like was able to kind of track the direction because he found the other body.
You found the body, but that doesn't necessarily mean the demon went that way.
No, but like we know the area of what went down, so
Yeah.
we can also head back that way.
Mhm.
we have a few clues that we can look into. At least it would give us a direction and keep one more thing off the back of the clan while you figure out where to go, what to do next. It's the least we can do.
I think we'll be joining up with one of the other clans. I've been in contact with their keeper. I think it'd be safest for us to combine forces at this point.
Sorry to be the bearer of yet more bad news.
Well, there's not much else to be said for war, unfortunately. All we can do is pray that the Evanurs are on our side and that we survive.
I have faith that if anyone can lead us out of this, it's you.
I fear you have too much faith in me.
But we'll at least look into what we can do for the demon. If you'll allow us that much.
Of course.
I'm sorry about bringing the Shems in last second.
No, I understand. I apologize for hostility earlier. Namaris is
A lot. I
a
know.
lot. Yes. But if you're all right with looking into this, we would appreciate the help.
I think I can speak for the rest of them that they'll be eager to help.
Good. At least they're good for something.
Wardens are good at hunting demons and other things,
Yeah.
you know. Right, well, I'll let you get back to. And she gestures like helplessly at the mage that like wandered off, and she'll just sort of like awkwardly back out of the tent.
I will get back to that. He's a good boy. He just needs a little extra help. Well, make sure you spend time with your mother while you're here. I know she was quite upset with you when you disappeared.
Yeah,
And let me know if there's anything we can do to help with your demon.
you focus on the clan, we'll focus on the demon.
I'll take that. She nods to you and goes back over to Um, you two go back to the rest of the group.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go back to camp.
All right. What do you do once you get back?
So what's the situation at camp look like? So we've got Zakane drunkenly eating a snack.
Less drunk now, but definitely snacking.
Has
Um,
camp actually been set up, or is everyone just sitting around?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Because
Siobhan's in a tree where she's
Siobhan's in
gonna
a tree.
sleep. So for Siobhan, yes.
Solvin has left the camp at this point. However, there is another elf from your clan sitting in the camp now. It is exactly who you think.
Thought you said we're not going to get to combat.
That's fair. The rest of you don't know who this guy is. You have this kind of buff elven guy with I don't remember whose Valisline he has, but
June.
it's fine. He has Valisline, yeah. June Valisline. And he immediately came in and sat down next to Hercule. Waking Katie up. You've been summoned.
Hello? Hello. I'm awake.
You're awake.
I'm awake. I'm here. I'm here.
So he immediately came in and sat down next to you. He's a little touchy as he's talking with you. And he says, I've never seen anything quite like you. Are all of you type like this? And he's touching your horns, just fascinated by them.
I am making accurate faces to what Hercule is doing, pretty much. Just if I like that. Do you mean do all Kunari have horns?
I mean, do they have horns? Are they as tall as you? Do they all have such strange skin tones? I've never seen someone gray before.
Yes, all in a wide variety, different horns, different skin tones, different heights, but all tall with horns and different skin tones to you. Yes.
Are they all as good looking as you are?
Literally looks for Siobhan. Looks up at the tree the fuck? I do not I think there is a variety, but I do not
It doesn't really matter.
Can I ask what you're asking down there?
Sorry, what'd you say? I can't hear you from down here.
Can I ask what you're asking?
Can I ask who you are?
My
You're
name
a tree.
Yes, I am a tree. I was enchanted long ago. See, there's this thing where when Grey Wardens, to their greatest act of heroism, they cease to be flesh and bone, they become a plant. And I wanted to be a tree so very badly that I prayed to the maker to make me a tree, and I did my good deed, and now I'm a tree.
He leans over to Hercule. She does realize I can see her, right?
I'm taking the piss, darling.
She's very good at doing that.
Taking the piss.
Yes.
Everything's kind of miserable, so now everything's kind of a joke.
Fair enough. I respect
Siobhan,
that.
weren't you going to come down when we saw Lark coming back? I think they're on their way back.
I suppose that I am done being angry. So yes. And she'll unbelt herself and start to climb down the tree.
As you're climbing down, that's when Lark and Tam kind of start heading back to camp.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
This is the person who was glaring at Lark earlier.
Yes.
Did we notice that? Did Tam notice that interaction?
Would you like to roll perception?
Sure.
Or what's your passive perception? Which would you rather do?
My passive perception is 16, but I have a plus
Oh,
6
that's very high.
Yeah.
You
I'm a druid.
You definitely notice.
As soon as Tam sees him sitting there, he is going to take a step closer to Lark, so that they're like shoulder to shoulder, and kind of nudge her as discreetly as possible. But he is making he's not very tall, but he is making himself puff. He's like puffing up a little bit, like he's preparing for a fight. Immediately on site.
Lark like freezes in spot when she sees him, like immediately clocks him sitting next to Hercule, and like her fists just, her hands clench into a fist, and she just, get out.
Oh, look,
You know this
it's so
person.
good to see you. And he like puts his hand on Hercule's knee. Says, I was just getting to know your friend. Sorry, what was your name again?
He stalks right up to him, like storms up, grabs him by the collar, and like pushes him off the seat. Get out.
Hercule just standing there. Oh, mate. Oh, no.
I love him.
How dare you come with you?
I'm sorry, but I'm not the one who went and got people killed, so I see the reason why I can't get to know your friends.
I see every reason why you can't get to know my friends. You're a two-timing cheat. Get
And
out.
you're connected to your own clan.
I'm a what?
He just kind of gestures to the people.
Oh,
At least,
wait.
at least the people I've brought into the clan for the moment aren't trying to kill them. They're trying to help the world, not destroy it.
And you think that he was trying to destroy the world?
He was a
You didn't think that maybe he was
a fucking
a good
Orlean
person.
Chevalier. Okay?
That doesn't mean anything.
How many of our people do you think he killed?
I know how many he did. 0.
Uh-huh. Sure.
If you can't get over your jealousy,
My jealousy?
perhaps if you had been a better wife.
Farron, I will fucking slit your throat right here and now. Get!
I dare you.
She reaches for her.
He's not worth it. Not worth it.
Tam's gonna produce flame cantrip in his hand and sidle up next to Lark.
So you've replaced me finally.
I don't think she wants you here.
I haven't.
She clearly wants you here.
We are friends.
You're my friends.
Mm.
You are not welcome in our camp, okay?
And you're not welcome in our camp.
The keeper
I'd like
says
to pick him up by
otherwise.
the back of the shirt like I am scruffing a kitten, please.
Roll strength.
Does not matter. Sasha said he's probably much taller, and I said that does not matter. The power of fantasy Irish compels me.
Yes.
That is 17.
Okay. I got a 19.
Can I assist? Can I
You
also
can.
go?
You
I
can.
would see Siobhan doing that and be like, yes, I approve. Let me roll straight.
So are you rolling strength too, or is she gonna?
I'm using my inspiration. I rolled a 2. I'm rolling using my inspiration. That's still terrible, but at least it's a 13.
Okay, so instead of picking up, I'm gonna start like wrapping the fabric around my hand and like making a fist.
Uh-huh.
I am just going to punch him while Siobhan holds him. I'm not even going to wait for her to speak. I know that she's gearing up to.
Roll
She's
an
got him
unarmed
scruffed.
attack.
Lark's going to
Roll
punch him.
an attack.
Is that an armed attack? That is a 16.
You clock him right in the face. The only thing keeping him on his feet is Siobhan.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say it one more time. Get out.
You think you're so much better than me, don't you?
Oh, she is.
Better than everyone.
As a matter of fact, she is.
I was asking you, Shem.
I don't give a fuck, asshole.
I don't think I'm better than you, but I don't need to be treated like trash. You're the one who discarded me. Remember that. If you would, please.
You're the one who left me, but
Is there a river?
details.
Is there a river real close to here?
No, but just throw him out.
I won't drop him.
Okay.
You said the only thing holding him up is Siobhan.
Yep. He stumbles and kind of gets back to his feet.
I have more important things to deal with than you right now.
Sure you do, because you're so important, aren't you?
Don't you have several mirrors to go look at yourself in, motherfucker?
Don't encourage him.
He just kind of like hands her the hair.
Oh.
And
Gee.
Cam's gonna lean down and like stage whisper into Lark's ear. I could set his hair on fire.
No, it's not worth it. We have more important things to deal with than this jackass.
But imagine him bald.
Well, I imagine it often.
he turns back to Hercule. It was a pleasure to meet you. Winks, walks away.
Lark turns to Hercule. I'm very sorry that you had to deal with him. I didn't think he'd have the audacity to come over here. And she's like just shaking.
Can I?
Don't understand all of that interaction, but he's
Disgusting.
quite heinous, isn't he?
He's my ex-husband.
Why?
He wasn't always like that.
What happened? Did he fall and hit his head?
Something like that. Fell for a human. An Orlesian, of all things. And I wasn't good enough anymore.
Seems as if you were always too good for him.
Well, I'm glad you think so, at least. As it is, things are a bit contentious now, and he probably was making passes at you just to piss me off.
It's well, I don't put him beyond that because he's, as Kjol said, heinous. He was saying it was really gross. It was fetishy. He was asking really strange questions. I watched from the tree. I do just kind of think he's a dirtbag. If
Yeah,
it makes you feel any better, he's a pervert and a dirtbag.
I mean, yes, it makes me feel better. No, it doesn't make me feel better, but there are worse things, and
Is that a thing?
Is what thing?
Are there,
Elves who are fascinated with the Shams.
well, with kunai?
Yes.
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 There's not very many of us.
There's a way to if you fall in love with the person, that is okay. Because that's you're falling in love with the person. But sometimes people are very into something sexually in a way that is racist. He did not see you as a person, he saw you as an experience.
as a way to get at me. A little bit of that, a little bit of this.
Just
And
glad you don't have children.
yeah, small blessings. And I mean, to be fair, maybe he really did love the Sham, but war is war, and shit happens. It may not have been my fault, but convince someone else of that. He has his supporters, surprisingly. I have mine. I don't stay in camp very often anymore.
Good thing you have us. Speaking of camp,
We look around like there's nothing set up.
Not bad. Hercule would have been working.
Atreus sits up and he's like, not to worry, friends. I can fix this in a jiffy.
No.
He just kind of like snaps his fingers and the tents kind of unroll themselves and set up. Little Sabine magic for you.
how come
I
I
can
was
teach you
never
later.
taught that?
I can
People
teach
from
you.
Hawkins when you're done doing that out on the street.
Well, I don't just do this for anyone. You lot are special.
Oh, highest praise coming from you.
Please, please don't flirt with my
Um,
ex-husband.
I sense. Oh, me? I have no interest in your ex-husband.
Thank the gods.
No, I have someone back home.
One more time and slower.
God, they're fucked. Okay. But we're gonna stick with it.
Yes, and
He just kind of
I need to find a farther way and higher tree.
we can talk about it later.
No, that's fine. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to go and find a tall.
To be fair, it's an arrangement and not necessarily full feelings.
Do you always talk about your left hand as if it's not part of the rest of your body?
Why the left so it could feel like somebody else?
I do have that tendency, yes.
I thank you all for at least having my back. I do appreciate that. Um, the good
Had
news,
us when you brought us here.
yes, well, in good news, I guess, the keeper has said that there is something we can do to help. And, as long as that asshole doesn't come back and bother me again, um, if we could look into that demon that we saw the traces of, it could be our next step, at least for now.
How wonderful.
She'll look over at Hercule and kind of smile and be like, next time you could just call Lemon in to finish him off. I won't say no.
I was tempted to see if she could do a flyby as he walked away. Get a chunk of hair, but I don't want to ruin her nice reputation with the village. The kids
Just-
seem to like her.
You could
Maybe
just-
maybe before we leave, we can time it so she scares him and he shits his pants in front of everyone.
I was going to say we could just give her a lot of people food.
That's true. That's true. A different kind of flyby.
I still think that we should set his hair on fire.
Putting all of these options on the table for when we leave. Not saying no to any of them, just not while we're in camp.
Does anyone have experience with demons? I know very little.
I'm sorry, we're following a demon. Isn't that kind of the opposite of what you're supposed to do?
I mean, you're supposed to run from Darkspawn, but Siobhan and I do the opposite every day.
I mean,
Yeah, but we didn't sign up for that.
What?
not saying we have to fight it, not saying that so much as in maybe just sort of see if we can track it a little bit, help give the clan an idea of where not to go. They can't stay for long. They're gonna have to move. If we can at least help them avoid the demon, it
They-
would be appreciated.
They need help.
I'm asking you for help.
I'm going to help.
Do you have very many mages in your clan?
Not many, no. And the ones that we do have are helping with the temple that the Shems attacked.
Well, that's a start at least, because demons like magic, don't they? We've always, well, our keeper always thought of them as spirits more than demons. They're not demons until they do something bad. But they really like magic. So I suppose the safest place for us to be is not with your clan. So
We can
I'll
sleep on it and think it over. We don't have to decide anything right now.
Is there a
That's
way to protect the mages in the group? I understand they are the most, they're the ones that need protecting.
Tam is going to turn and go to start setting up his tent, like his stuff, and leave the conversation.
it's most mages, if they're taught properly, can protect themselves. It's just, well, they should be able to protect themselves. She kind of gives a pointed look to Zakane, and then well, maybe your clan handles it differently, but we didn't have very many mages. So
I won't ask any of you to put yourselves at risk for possession or anything like that. Just maybe some general tracking. That's all we got to do is just help them know where to avoid.
Is it possible for, would it be possible for me to be possessed?
You want to
Yep,
find
yep, yep.
Oh,
Because
what
you're
is
not
when I,
made doesn't mean that you can't be possessed.
I did not know that. Well, that's another thing to worry about now, isn't it?
I would be worried. Yeah. Well, actually, considering that if you're possessed, you're probably dead already, so you don't have much to fear because it'll just be over.
Like a terrible puppet situation.
Unless they plan to release you.
So time I fought the scary things. That might just be scarier than Blight.
Hmm. Do you think Blake still wins? But
Well, I won't force the issue. I'll figure something out.
No,
And
just tell me where you want to go.
we can sleep on it and talk things over in the morning when we've had some rest. And Lark will just kind of like gently pat Hercule on the shoulder and just be like, again, I'm sorry about him. Are you okay?
uh, I, uh, I suppose so. And you are not responsible for his behavior either way. Um, yes. You are not his keeper.
No, but if he makes you uncomfortable in the future, just punch him. That's about the only version of no that he understands.
I think if I punched everyone who made me uncomfortable, we would have a problem.
Maybe, but
Not just nervous, like before. I think that you're nervous a lot of the time, but I know what uncomfortable looks like on you, and it is not a passive face of yours.
I think the distinction is difficult sometimes, but yes, I did not feel like he was there's something you said, Siobhan, that he did not see me as a person, and yes, it was odd.
Well, again, thanks for having my back, and I'm going to set up camp and maybe get some rest.
Of course.
Davi is going to take a quick look around at everybody, and she looks a little bit longer at Evan than everybody else, and then she turns and heads to where Tam is setting up camp.
I think Tam is probably like at this point, given how long they've been doing this, I think he's just setting up both of their bedrolls automatically and like just kind of like going about their usual as if the rest of the camp isn't there. But he's definitely like incredibly stiff.
She doesn't say anything. She just comes up behind him and wraps her arms around him and kind of just like buries her face in his neck.
I think it's more affection than he expects. And he kind of freezes for a second and then relaxes and like gives this like little laugh. Did you have fun while I was gone?
She doesn't answer him right away, kind of like nuzzles his neck, like buries her face in his hair, and then like so like it got really real there for a second, and now she's back to being like silly and giggly again. You smell like challah, Fenoris.
We are in a Dalish camp. There will be challah.
You said hi to the challah without me, didn't you?
It was on the way.
That was not very nice.
Next time. I'm sure we'll have to go back. I offered to help with the temple too. I didn't think you would mind.
Do you think we'll be here that long?
I don't know, but it's what Rashawn would have wanted from us.
It's funny hearing that from you. That's usually what I say. So we've traded places.
I'm capable of responsibility. Every now and then.
Apparently, I'm capable of being fun. Every now and then.
Even without me?
Well, if you're having fun, who's keeping you out of trouble? It's usually me, right?
He laughs and kind of turns so that she's more like at his side rather than behind him. I think we keep each other out of trouble.
I'm not so sure about that all the time.
Can I ask you to keep me out of trouble again?
Are you speaking more generally, or is there something specific that you were referring to?
I think you know. And I think you know I have to try.
I think that my head is not where it usually is right now, so you have to spell it out for me.
Just make sure I don't start sleepwalking tonight.
Do you want me to tie you up?
No, I don't think they would understand. Um, I still have the pouch from Rashawn. With both. Just wake me up if things start happening. They don't need a demon in their camp.
There won't be.
I think for the first time in like a very long time, for Davi, Tam looks actually outwardly scared. And he just kind of nods and kind of takes a step back so he can flop down on the bedroll and stare up at the tent, kind of like trying to gather his thoughts.
She flops down next to him, a little closer than usual, and is out like immediately.
Are we resting? Like, is this the end of the night, or is there like, are we heading back into camp to get food?
I mean, you can. I'm muted, aren't I?
No.
Oh, I was muted on the other end. Um, you can go get food. It can be the end of the night. There's not really a
I think that Tam would hold off until it seems like most everyone has gone to sleep other than whoever's keeping watch. Before he does what we discussed.
Okay,
But I don't think he leaves the tent again.
cool. Anyone else have anything they want to do before we end for the night? No? Okie doke. Then that's the end of the session. I'm gonna end the stream if it was doing anything.